What's that? They're listed. Yeah, they're all listed. I don't know if you can see it, but we'll go over it. But they're definitely listed. Um, yeah. So last time we met, I know it was 2 weeks ago, but we oh, Requade's not here yet. Yeah. So Requade, we know Requade comes in the middle, right? But last time we went over jungling, right? Jungling, your job is to get somewhere and basically gank the other team, right? Your job in lane up the lane phase starts when the match begins. It goes through the gank and into the first objective, right? That is the lane phase. It's just like when we talked about jungling. Everything after the objective is is its own thing. Once that first objective pops, everybody goes to the objective or defends the objective, whatever it is. After that, there is no, hey, this is what you should be doing. It's more of stick together as a team and go do the things that you think is most important, right? But the laning phase and the initial jungling phases, they're all in concert with each other. They happen at the same time. Um, just like when we were talking about jungling, right? There is less 8 XP up top, right? If you can see, let me get my drawing. Boop, boop, boop. A little drawing tool. So you get Bunnelbees, 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 and one ball toy, right? Yeah, competitive farm. On the bottom, you get Bunnelbees, Bunnelbees. Oh, who's that guy? That's an Indeedee. That Indeedee is worth a lot more XP. And that one you fight for. Hey, look, there's another Indeedee at the bottom. And look, you even get one on your side of the map too. So this is all super important. Uh, the first, hold on, let me switch the thickness of this and oh, there we go. Boom. What's that? No, 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 no. Okay, so if you look at this map, right? Um, 940 is the first is when it spawns, and it respawns every minute after it was 1 minute after it was killed or knocked out. They don't get killed; they get knocked out. Yeah, so that's the respawn timer. So knowing these respawn timers, like if you get middle birds, you know a minute 30 after that they're gonna pop back up. If um, exactly. Yep. Right. So if you notice, right, the top Indeedee, right, this guy right here, and the bottom ball toy, these these pop first, right? Boop, boop. So at 940, the ball toy pops. At 945, the Indeedee pops. So if you're in bottom lane, it's imperative that you go and you battle for this before the other team does, right? You will get to level 3 before they do. You will have an advantage. This Indeedee doesn't pop till 915, right? So your laning phase should go look something like this in the bottom, right? So you'll start right here. You make your way down. You've got Bunnelby 1. Oh, wow, that is huge. Sorry, hold on. I can't. I just can't right now. A little bit. A little bit. Let's see this guy. All right. Yeah, like that. All right, so here we go. So you go in. You got Bunnelby 1. I'm sorry. Wait. Bunnelby. Yeah. You've got Bunnelby 2, right? You've got the two Bunnelbys that hang out each other. They're really more here. This is where they walk to once you start attacking them, right? And then the next one that's going to spawn is this guy right here. So, your goal when you get to here is to be able to take it out before your opponent, right? If that means that you have to skip these two bunnies to get there in time, skip those two bunnies. If you can take out all four of these bunnies before you get there, you'll have more XP before you get there. That's fine. But the goal is to make sure that you last hit this thing so your team gets the XP first. And then, once you get... Once you get him... Okay, this is really starting to tick me off. Why am I not drawing? There we go. Once you get this in DD, then you go back, get these two farms, right? Because they're on your side, they're safer, right? A lot of times you will see one of three things, right? Your opponents will go for their side first and ignore. They will fight you for this guy. Or they will get their farm, go through the bush, and try to score, right? Alright, quiz time. What gives you more XP? This guy here, or scoring the couple of points that you got? Are you sure? Well, how many, so each Bunnelby has 2 coins, so 2, 4, 6, 8, scoring 8 points. How much XP are you getting? It's slightly less. Slightly less. But if they're stacking, right? Not only are they going to evolve, say you get the NDD, they drop 8 points, right? 6 points, 8 points, whatever it is. Now you're both around the same level, but they got to stack in. An early game, before you hit your big jumps in power, most Pokemon get their power spikes at level 5. Some get them at level 4. But if you stack early, the amount of the difference in your attacks are going to be huge percentage-wise, right? Just mathematically. Let's go to Unite DB. All right, yeah. Let's do who's a Pokemon that stacks in lane very frequently. Whoa, what the heck just happened? Alright, so Lucario. Let's do Lucario, right? So, Lucario, right? He stacks, he's going to be level 3, right? What is his attack at level 3? He starts off at 160 attack. That is his base attack at level 1. You get him to level 3, he's at 180. Wow. You went up 20 attack, bro. Cool. What's a stack worth? $12. What's the difference between level 3 and level 4? 12. Huh. So not only did you get to level 3, but now you have the You have the same attack stat as if you were level 4. Oh my. So now, when we go back to, hey, what's worth more XP, the Indeedee or the stack, it doesn't matter if the Indeedee is worth more XP, this is worth more gameplay wise for that person, right? Doesn't mean that both Pokemon aren't going to stack. Don't get it twisted. The other person in lane is probably going to fight you for that Indeedee, right? So, here's what you have to do. If you're going for the Indeedee, go for the Indeedee. Do not try to block the stacker unless you can block the stacker. What do I mean by that? There's very few Pokemon that can stop a Pokemon from throwing 6 in the hole, right? Who are those Pokemon? Yeah. I don't think A9 can stop it early. Yes. Right. So, Charizard, because he's constantly blowing flames on you, he can stop you, and he burns you. Decidueye, if you get your basics flying to the boosted level, because and a really good one, Mamoswine, if you do a move, yes, you freeze the lane and you make it slower for them to score. So, Gible can block a stab if it gets to its boosted. If you can't get it to its boosted in time, you're not going to make it because he's not going to be attacking fast enough, right? So instead, if you don't have one of those very few, we're talking, there's what, 65, 68 Pokemon in the game now? Maybe 70? I lost track a while ago. If you're not one of those very few Pokemon that can stop them from stacking, don't waste your time. Just let them stack. Get to this guy as fast as you can so you can take it out, or pass him by and go stack yourself. Mm-hmm. So that's a that is a good question, and so it depends on a couple things, right? I have a PowerPoint here somewhere. Oh my goodness, that's my damage. No, that's my first class, the damage calculation class. Oh man, that was a good class. Where's my Unite folder? Experience and XP share. Let's go. I don't know if this will open. Yeah. That's a very good question, right? Because skilled players are not going to let you get them, right? If they're going in for a stack. But here's the thing. It's let's just say it's even because my Google Drive doesn't want to connect. Well, this one does. Oh, because they're trying to open up in Word. Oh. Yeah, I know it doesn't work. Man, this is gonna be the worst YouTube video of all time. YouTube's gonna delete me from their roles. All right, so I'm not gonna be able to pull it up, and I don't want to waste time with the class doing it, right? So So let's just say KOing the Pokemon at such a low level is probably going to be more than let's just say it's a piece of farm and a half, right? At such low levels, the way you're gonna get more XP from KOing your opponent is when they are a higher level from you. You get diminishing returns if they're a lower level than you, and if you're both lower levels, then they're worth less XP, right? But at the state of the game in the beginning, when we're talking that everyone's like hovering around level, level 3, level 4, that's a good kill because what happens is they have to respawn. Now it's 2-on-1 for the totality of the farm, right? So if you have the opportunity to KO them, that's great. What I wanna harp on, right, is you have your three options, right? One, yep, last hit the farm. Two, go for the stack. Or three, wall them off and make sure you protect your farm. These two guys right here. Yes. Yes. So this is where teamwork comes into play, right? You'll already know based on there's some Pokemon that are just not good early game, right? Um, yeah. So you're like, hey, we know that this is gonna be bad, right? So what you want to do is you want to attack from back here and have them walk this way to go towards you. These guys over here, you want them to walk into the bushes. If they're in the bushes, your opponents cannot target them. They can still hit them, but they can't target them, and that's very important because they can't see them. When the farm goes into the bushes, it's just like if you go into the bushes. Guess what? They're hidden. It's like this guy. If you can drag him into the bush, the birds, when the birds pop, drag them into the bush. If you can drag them into the bush, that's great. The first person that hits them is who they are going to focus on and walk towards. So, mm, I have noticed that more often than not, if you're there first and you get the first hit, usually what I do is I try to get close and I try to get to him so I can shoot at this guy before this bunny pops. But I want to be as far away as possible. Like here's me, here's my damage circle, right? Boom. I pop him, he starts walking towards me. Get enough damage on him to where I'm not accidentally shooting this rabbit over here and have him walk into the bush, right? Because I want to last hit him. If I have a move that pushes someone, I'm never going to get rid of this one now. I can't, I wrote too many things. What I'll do is I'll try to rotate to this side, like Blastoise, right? I will slide through and then push him back towards my opponent so we have a better chance of killing them. Or I'll walk myself through and push the opponent back so they don't have a chance at the last hit. This is where coordination is key. So, lane phase 1. Oh, nice. 3-star Pika. Hell yeah. Yeah. I've been playing TCG all day. Well, I never played the card game. I picked up the online game a week ago. I entered a tournament today, and I would have made it to the finals if I didn't have to go pick up a couch. But anyways, yeah. So this is part one of the lane phase, right? Part one of the lane phase is securing farm, getting more XP than your opponent, and the number one rule: do not get KO'd. Getting KO'd, Yes. So getting KO'd is triple bad, right? One, you will be less likely to get the farm. Two, you leave your lane more prone to getting ganked by the jungler. Because remember, jungler's coming, right? As soon as these birds pop at 9:15, the jungler should be there. Wait, that time's wrong. It's not 9. They don't pop at 9:15. They pop at 8:50. This must be a really old map. Anyways. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, 8:50. Okay, it is correct. That's the. So at 8:50, at 9:20, you need to get back. You cannot be trying to score. You cannot be pushing your opponent. If their opponent's backing up, you're like, oh man, we almost got him. We almost got him. You almost got him. You're going to get ganked. The closer you are to their pad, the closer you'll be when they come and gank you, right? At 9:20, you need to start heading back. I don't care what you're doing. 9:20, that is when you head back. I don't care how. Right here. Emergency barriers are right here. Oh, the timing? You. Mm-hmm. Yes. 11.
Number two.
Yeah, the speed berry. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lot of times you will lose a really good position in the match because you're getting too aggressive, right? And I'm not saying you. I'm saying you in general. Um, players players are doing really good. Players are pushing them back. You feel like you're doing good. You may have even closed one of their goal zones, and you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing because you have a level lead. You have, everything's going in your favor. But you have to remember, they evolve too. They go up levels too, and they get their moves. And once they get their moves, they can stun you. They can do enough to take one, two, or even the whole team out. So what you become when you are out leveling them, all this farm on the map doesn't mean crap, right? When you are out leveling their team, you are now the most important XP resource on the map. And when we were going over the jungle phase, it said that, hey, when you go in for the gank, guess what? Do not die, because you are the most important piece of farm for them. If you go in for the gank and you die, you just help them immensely, right? So, in order for you to help your jungler at 920, get the hell back. Back to your side. Why 920? Because there are extremely, and I mean extremely few Pokemon that can clear their farm and get to the gank by 920. And even if they get there by 920, you're already moving back, so you're in a good position. Extremely difficult for them to do so, right? Because when the jungler gets to lane, right, and this is for both paths, right, top and bottom path, when the jungler goes in for the gank, the expectation is he's going to get a KO or two. Get back to your pad, be safe, get your shields, leave the pad and walk back on, leave the pad and walk back on. You can actually get your health and your shield faster if you step off and step back on, step off and step back on. You don't have to stand on the pad. If being on the pad is safer, do it. Don't let them take your berries, right? Just the biggest thing, 920. Get the hell back, right? It doesn't matter how good you're doing. Doesn't matter how good you're doing, the jungler will always out level you, right? It is almost impossible. Yeah. Ooh. There we go. Let's start again. I can get that number 1 off the page. Booyah. There we go. Yeah, let's go. I accidentally hit Control V and I got a new map. Woohoo! All right, so that's part 1 of the laning phase, right? Part 2 of the laning phase is fighting over these Altarias, right? Some people don't think that this is an objective. I'm telling you right now, that is an objective. The totality of XP in these birds is just as important as getting all 3 of these, right? This early in the game, at the 8-minute mark, the 8-minute birds, there's not enough XP on the board for your team to outlevel the other team if everyone's getting their side of the map, right? Everyone's getting their side of the map. Whoa. How did that happen? That's so weird. What in the world is going on? It's fine. No. It's just, oh, I know. I'll do this. Yep. I just like to delete these. Boom. Man, I'm so good at this. Yep, this is a new slide. Slide number 2. Let's go. Alright. Slide number 2. Alright. So, there's not enough XP or levels to go around for everybody. When these birds pop, that is a good juicy bit. This is like a half level of XP, right? If you are not level 5 yet, which you probably won't be because you're a laner, this is where you need to be, right? Get there early before the second rotation so you can get one of these guys too, right? Maybe even both before the other team does. Right? If you get there at, 750, you might be able to get both of these Baltoys. Or at least the one on your side. And then... Go ahead. Yeah, so sometimes the jungler may have taken it on their way back to their second rotation. Right? That's fine. Sometimes they get back to their rotation before this thing pops, or... they just take a shortcut and they go back to laning and they forget this thing altogether. I usually go top when I jungle. I come back down through here and I go right back to my blue buff because that's where I start. It's just natural for me, but some people don't. So at about, 8-10, start heading up, get some free XP before you start the fight. Now, if you already see their entire team is going for the middle, and you only have 2, maybe 3 people going, just don't. Let them get that and go score, right? There's a good chance that you're holding on to, 20 some odd points. Just go score, right? It's not worth dying for. The birds are a good chunk of XP. They're not worth dying for. What is worth it is if your whole team goes for the birds and their whole team goes for the birds and you have a nice team fight and you're prepared. This should be the very first team fight of the game. Should be. Not everybody goes for it, right? If it's not the first team fight, we all know what it is, right? We always go bottom lane first. Why is that? Yes, everyone on top should rotate bottom, unless they are going for the top objective. You might want to leave one person up there just to annoy them, so you can get the bottom objective and get up and help. It's fine, right? But then again, if they get top objective and they let it score, it frees up all these bunnies, right? This is an old map. This is definitely an old map because this bunny does not exist. There's only 2 on bottom path when they break the bottom goal. No. This bunny, there is no bunny here. There's nothing here. Just on, so on top there's 3, not bunnies, I'm sorry, Indeedis, right? There's 3 Indeedis and 1 Baltoy, right? On bottom path, if they break the goal, you get 2 Indeedis and 1 Baltoy. This one does not exist, right? So, there is not. There is not. There used to be, when the Thea Sky Ruins map came out, one of the most OP Pokemon was Glaceon, because there was so much farm on the map that it could literally just go around the map and keep its Ice Shard up the whole time. Yeah. Or no, Icicle Spear. What's the one that shoots them all at the same time? Icicle Spear, right? Okay. Yeah, so Ice Shard. Yeah, so the one that shoots it all at once. Literally, they were just... Oh, jeez. I don't play enough Glace. Nope. Freeze drives the other secondary move. You're fucking with me. Anyways. So literally they would just run around the map, just prunk, 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 just taking out all the farm, keeping it up. Like there was always farm, so they could always keep up all their icicles. But yeah, so we go bottom first, because on bottom, not only do you get a shield, not only do you get whatever the buff is, you know, which is really, those are really good buffs, except, you know, Regice. You get a shield, you get a buff, and your entire team gets a huge chunk of XP. You get Reggie up top, last hitter gets their share of XP, everyone else gets, you know, whatever else it is. And then, if the other team defends it, they get the same exact amount of XP. So what are we doing here? Bottom, Reggie, first, always. Now, later in the game, having him walk down or do whatever to distract them, that's fine, right? Again, after the lane phase, it is what it is, right? So lane phase is one thing, right? So for the phase, 1, 2, or 3, right? Those are your options. Go for the farm, go for the score, or block them off from scoring / getting farm, right? Those are your 3 options. 920, get back. Yes. If you're in the losing position, then you... Stay back. Stay back. Try and snipe last hits. Every Pokemon has a last hit, right? So, and we're gonna get into last hitting here on the second part of this, right? Because this is a 2-part class, right? So the first part is the phase, right? So part one of the phase is the early farm slash score slash get some XP, right? Part two is defending the gank slash getting the bunnies. Or the bunnies, I always call them the bunnies. Getting the birds. Right? Part three is team fight point 5, right? Sometimes it's the first one, sometimes it's not, right? That's the last one. All of them. All of them. So if you can get all of them, so there's a good possibility this could be a bona fide team fight. If you leave one Pokemon here and one Pokemon here, you send 3 against their 5. Cool, these guys can go score, right? But they just KO'd 3 Pokemon. So now they're going to be able to go all 5 down to this lane or all 5 up to this lane. And now it's 5-on-1. So, what I like to do is if I'm staying back to defend, hover around here. Gives me time to get back and block them if they're hanging out to score. It gives me time to go and support if they're not going to be. Like if I'm a defender, right, and say, hey, you go get the birds, I'll stay back, right? I'm staying back right here in the L bush. This is the L bush. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So in uncoordinated play, the jungler's gonna come here and they'll be on time. And other people will be just walking along saying, oh, I think I want to get there too. And they get here at 7:58. And their jungler is an Absol or a Zeraora or something that literally eats these things in like 3 seconds if they're unopposed. Now they just ate these, leveled up even stronger, and they're the jungler and they see a Cinderace and it's dead. Does that happen to you? Did I just give you bad flashbacks? Yeah. Well, I know when I'm a Zeraora and I get those birds for free, if an attacker comes, I'm eating them too. It's just how it is. All right. So then after these birds, people should rotate bottom. At least 4 of your 5. You can leave a defender up here if you want to keep them from just, scoring at will and getting all their stacks. That's a choice that your team has to make. But this is when you start rotating and bullying bottom. You bully bottom. If you break the bottom goal early, that's not bad. I know some people want to keep it open so they don't, remember these don't exist. This one doesn't exist. So they don't get this free XP in lane. But guess what? If you take out this flux zone and this pad right here before the first team fight, it's going to make it that much easier to win. That team fight. Then they have Goal Hacker. I don't know. I mean, Goal Hacker's just a bad item. I mean, I've never seen a Goal Hacker play that was like, oh wow, I can't believe they did that with Goal Hacker for the whole 2 seconds it does its thing. Yeah. Some team is gonna do some amazing shit with Goal Hacker, and it's gonna become meta, just like in the World Championships, the whole Mamoswine is back, baby. Mamoswine didn't get any buffs, didn't get reworked, didn't get nothing. Everyone just realized, oh crap, this is a good Pokemon. Look how they're using it, and then everyone was playing Mamo again. So maybe Goal Hacker or something will happen like that. There'll be a bunch of videos, you know, Chris Heroes and Spraggles are just going to be like, oh, look at this play, and then everyone's going to start using it. But until then, there's just not a lot to go off of. It's such a short duration, and you don't get that much out of it. It's probably better to have another item that you can use more frequently than those small niche situations. But anyways, yeah. So rotate, get the birds, rotate bottom. I suggest 4. It can be 5. Keep your defender up here so that they don't score at will. And that's the laning phase, right? That's the laning phase. So going from the laning phase to it's more than that, right? So it's picking the right Pokemon for your lane, right? Team comps. There's so much that goes into team comps. It's not even funny, right? I personally like to see a melee Pokemon laning with a freaking a ranged attacker. Yes, a ranged attacker, or anything that can shoot from a distance, right? That will give that'll give your, what do you call it, your melee character the ability to jump in while getting support. But also, if they get in trouble and they need to get back, they can lay down that that suppressive fire or oppressive fire, whatever you want to call it, to help them get back safely, right? There's synergy in having a melee character and a ranged attacker at the same time, right? Here's a problem though, right? So say you've got Tree, early game, and then you have a ranged attacker like Dragapult. Who's getting the last hit on that farm? Maybe? This lane has a Buzzwole. Who's getting the last hit? It's an amazing secure. It can be blocked because it only hits one. It only causes damage on the first target. But I'm just saying it's a better secure, right? Who's got a better There's so many Pokemon on the roster that have better secure. I mean, Slowbro. Slowbro's got one of the best secures. Yeah. So, but there's who's got CC right now? Which one of these two Pokemon has the CC? Early game. Exactly, right? So two problems, right? You have to have better secure than your opponents. They don't have that. You have to have some type of stun so you can stall the other team so you can get the secure. Or if they overextend, how are you going to stop them and get them KO'd, right? Is that better? Yeah. And he gets it at level 4. Right? Yeah, so but late game, Pikachu's not as strong Pikachu relies more on the early game. Pikachu's amazing, absolutely amazing. Late game, Pikachu falls off, and it's a lot easier to KO because his attack stat doesn't scale as much as other people's HP and defense. He still has, Electro Ball still has an amazing execute, but it's really he's not jumping in and just wrecking things like you would, right? Here's another one. Dragonite. If you're playing E-Speed, Dragonair is a horrible phase of life. It's just bad, right? But when it gets going, it's fantastic. So, yeah. So you have to you have to have something that can melee, something that can deal from afar. You have to have things that have stun or some type of status condition, hopefully a stun or a sleep or a knock up, something that's going to allow your team to take advantage of farm or KOs or whatever it is early game, and you have to make sure that the Pokemon you're picking overall are going to be effective late game. There's so much that goes into it, right? You can't just pick the Pokemon that you're comfortable with. Again, we're talking about the focus here isn't just on it's not just on playing the game. The focus is on truly building a comp for your lane that's going to be good. That's why everybody sees Ice Lane and they're like, yay, Ice Lane, right? Oh, oh God. Yes. So Darkrai is Speedster that does a melee attack, but it really doesn't because that little ball he throws on you. Dark Void is that's a ranged attack. And as soon as that Pokemon goes to sleep, he can hit you with a boosted. He doesn't have to be the one that puts you to sleep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. So now you have a melee stun, and for all intents and purposes, you have a ranged attacker. You have a ranged speedster. That's really what it is. That's what it is. It is a ranged speedster. That's what it is, right? So when you look at the Ice Lane, everybody loves the Ice Lane, right? Because they're both stunning. They're both stunning early. Well, stunning early. Both have great secures early, and then as the game goes on, they get even better as far as the team goes because you have a true mage and a true defender. What do I mean by true defender? Who's not a true defender? Not a true defender. Not a true defender. You're not even a defender. Get out of there. Snorlax is only a defender if you play a defender build. Lapras, I'm sorry, Lapras is more of an all-rounder, right? It does have some stun, but it's got just as much stun as every single one of these, what do you call it? All-rounders, not you, Scissor. But really, yeah. So Trevenant can be an all-rounder, but most, if you're playing its defender bill, like here's the only 6 defenders in the game. Oh, who's not on this list? Where's Umbreon? How old is this? Yeah, Umbreon 2. Yeah. And honestly, Umbreon Umbreon's a supporter. Umbreon's not a defender. Umbreon's a supporter. He's like a weird hybrid between an all-rounder and a supporter. Wit, Wish and Mean Look are both supporter type moves. Foul Play is not a defender type move. That is an all-rounder type move. Snarl is a supporter type move. You're lowering their you're literally lowering their stats. Oh. He can push him once. I don't know. I don't know. But so back to the importance of let's move these guys back to where they believe they belong. So right, so back to the lane comp, right? So when you're picking a lane comp, make sure you have one, you have a melee and a ranged in both lanes, right? Two, make sure you have some type of status condition that you can set on the opponent so that you don't get railroaded early. And three, make sure that individual Pokemon you pick are going to be useful not just in the lane phase, but later on in the game. Right, Machamp? Right. I mean, let's be honest, there's some Pokemon that can really kill it early, but late game, unless your whole team is cooking, it's just not it. Right, Sableye? That's right. So... I mean, Dodrio. Dodrio's fun. Dodrio wrecks things, right? Late game, it's just Dodrio. Yeah. Hoopa. Hoopa's great in lane early. Hoopa's got strong ranged attacks. It can stun people. It's got a really good secure. A lot of your supporters have really good secure early. Really good. No, it's no, not the explosion. Um, the boosted basic. The boosted basic. So, let's go back to Unite DB, right? So, Lucario at level 4, 192 attack, right? Let's look at its abilities, right? 192 attack. So if it's doing a basic, it's doing 192 attack. Plus 30% on the second hit for its boosted. Ooh, right? So let's go to supporters. We got LD. LD at level 4, we said? At level 4, special attack of 152. It's boosted its 73 special attack plus 6 times its level plus 120. That's crazy. Lucario's only doing 190. He's getting 120 base. Plus 73% of what did we say it was? 152. So let's just say another 110. So 110, that's 330 damage. Plus the bonus. What's the bonus? LD Glass and allies auto attacks against an enemy with a cotton fluff on it. With a cotton fluff on it, If you throw cotton on it, it deals increased damage. So another bonus. So Eldegoss has a better secure than Lucario. Now, I'm going to go back. Hey, that's why Unite DB is so important. Now, he's got Quick Attack. If he uses Quick Attack, he's going to out-secure you. Yep. Meteor Mash, probably not going to be it, right? Meteor Mash is a decent secure, right? So we're talking early, before level 4. Or before level 5, actually, because he doesn't get his first move till level 5. So level 4, he's got 2 good secures, right? Is he stunning you? Nope. He knocks him back, right? But, again, he has to be up close to do it. Is he going to get your ranged guy, or is your ranged guy going to get him? So, yeah. So again, there's a lot that goes into it. I love defenders in lane early. I'm a huge fan of playing double defender, because early they've got so much going for them. Real defenders, not you Gudra. God, I like whenever I see a Gudra get picked and everyone's like, we have a defender. That's good. Now I don't have to pick one. I'm like, oh God, I'm picking up slow, bro. Like, we don't need another defender. I was like, why? I'm the only one. And that's why I'm and that's why I'm banned. That's why I'm banned from the. If I see a Greedent or a Sableye, I already know it's going to be 4-on-5. But yeah, so just making sure. Again, listen. I've got Greedent Slander, I've got Sableye Slander, and I've got Cinderace Slander. But as people know, sometimes there's people who are good at it. I actually had I had one of the top I think it was top 10 Greedent in the world on my last squad, and that dude was so good with Greedent. Like, there's no slander. Yeah, so good with, like, I love his Greedent. But anyways, so make sure you have something that can stun. Make sure you split between a melee and a ranged, and make sure that the Pokemon that you pick make a good 5 Pokemon comp come endgame. Because we all know, doesn't matter how good your game went, if you don't get Ray, what was it all for? Yeah, but again, if you've never gone against a score comp, you're gonna get beaten badly. If you've been against them and you know that they're a score comp and you just deal with them, they shouldn't win. So, score comps are squishy. Score comps are not hard to beat up. You just have to, if they're gonna run around and score, guess what you do? You can score more easily too. So, just don't stick to your plan. If you have a plan and you stick to that plan, no matter what, no matter how bad you're doing, it's a bad plan. So, but yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna stop the YouTube video now. We've been going for probably a little over an hour now, so I think good with the video. But for anyone who watches this, if you got any questions, I'm Coach Mensa. I'm not good at this game. I've just played for a long time, so. We're out here. Well, I'm gonna stay on the Discord so we can keep chatting, and I'll hop